Hello, this is Katie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time. We're going to be using Trick or Treat Friends by Pretty Pink Posh, and I have my water and my paper towel ready. I'm going to be doing some watercolor. So this is just a sheet of watercolor paper, the Michaels brand, whatever that is, 140-pound cold press, just trimmed down so it fits into my Misty. And then I am just putting in everybody and their accoutrements, whatever fits. And I'll decide, I do end up using everybody, but I just decided to stamp everyone and watercolor them all in and then figure out what I wanted to do. So I am using the Extreme Black, My Favorite Things hybrid ink, because it is waterproof as well as working with alcohol markers, so you can use this with watercolor as well. So I'm going to stamp this a few times. The watercolor paper is much thirstier than normal cardstock, so it tends to kind of soak up more of the ink, so it needs a little bit more, more times stamped because to make it darker, basically. So I will do that 3 times, and I'm using my Pressure Pal to make sure I have even pressure. I will link that down below. And then we will stamp it a 3rd time. I had reached for recently my Memento Tuxedo Black and my Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink, I think. And I just wasn't happy with them. They weren't stamping well, and my Lawn Fawn one had dried out, so I'll just stick with this ink for now. I'm going to be using the Art Whale 48 set. I need to create a swatch card for this that's in order, because the one that came with it is not in order, and I don't know why. These paints are okay. I mean, they're cheap, probably student grade. And I'm obviously painting in small images, not, using the paint as a painter in a painting. So a lot of the colors I'm grabbing will be off screen, but I'm just starting with the brightest yellow in there to fill in the pumpkins, and I'll go over them again. You want to fill in areas and let those dry before you paint areas touching them. So I'm going to let these dry before I paint the orange around it in the pumpkins. And then I'll just do yellow in the buckle on the hat as well. And then I am just grabbing one of the lighter browns. It's probably kind of like a yellow ochre. I could be wrong about which color it is, and I don't actually know what it's called because I wasn't looking at the color names. For the skin tone on this little Batgirl, I'm not quite sure how these costumes are supposed to pair up. If the witch is meant to be either a witch or a princess, she could go either way. I know that Frankenstein doesn't really have anything. Frankenstein's monster, sorry, doesn't really have anything that goes with him. I think the witch would have the broom. The princess would have the star wand thing. But the Batgirl, you'd think, would have the little bat topper, like the head topper that's above the witch hat that I'm painting right now. I think that might belong to the Dracula guy, so I ended up putting that on him. The Batgirl could probably be like a bat princess. Anyway, she ends up with the princess hat with the little banner ribbon coming off of it. And my witch is purple, of course, and as I said in one of my recent videos, I made the band on the witch hat green instead of yellow because I wanted to test that out. So I just used the same green from the monster. And I'm having trouble finding colors. Obviously, I don't have a swatch sheet that's in order, so it's really hard for me to look at a color on the swatch sheet that I want and then try to find it because the pan looks a lot darker and I can't tell what colors a lot of them are. So that makes it very difficult. There was a hair, probably a cat hair or something, that had gotten into her face, so I had to take her away for a second and get it out somehow. So in this Art Whale set, there is a basic light skin tone color. There's lots of other colors you can use to blend for skin tones or just use straight out of the pan like I did for the other girl. And then for the other boy that is not green, I end up mixing one of the browns into the light peach that I already have just to make his different. I don't love this watercolor set. I would recommend the Mungyo set. I will link that one down below. It's on Amazon, and I just recommend it more in general. It's got better colors. I think it's better quality, I can tell. I think I also got the Art Whale tube set. So if you do want Art Whale, I would go with the tubes, not the pans. These ones seemed a little plasticky on top. I think it's because the sticker that was covering it had stuck to some of the paints. But I just overall like the Mungyo set the best for affordable set of like 48. So I'm going to link that one down below. I'm not sure what color I went for. It's some sort of black or dark gray. And I'll end up picking up some of the paint out of this because I don't want to totally erase the face. So I'll move the paint to the sides so you can still see the little Dracula bat face. I'm not quite sure what it is. And then I painted the Batgirl wings the same color. I don't think it would have looked right if they were pink. But if you know what matches who, feel free to let me know. Or if they're supposed to be intermingled, like the girl in the witch outfit is supposed to, or could be a princess. But then we have our little bat princess, so I don't know. Maybe it's just meant to be silly. And I think that is out of view. I apologize. I think I'm just alternating pink and orange on her tights. I've been doing a lot of orange legging next to purple on any of the little girls that have been coloring in. And because I think orange goes with blue pretty well, and I think they're opposite on the color wheel. I can't remember. They go together somehow. I usually do, if I have like a little person or a little boy and they've got a top and pants, I'll do orange for the shirt and blue for the pants. And then I'm using that same black and or gray color for the bolts in his neck and his hair to fill that in. I wanted to make the hair a little bit darker than it was, so I will just spread that out. I'm also using my Wonder Forest watercolor brushes. I'm going to go over this one again to make it a little bit darker. This is the size 2, which was a good size for coloring in relatively small images. I also just bought myself an early Christmas present. Emma LaFave came out with her Craftimo watercolor brush set, and I bought it, and I'm very excited. It did sell out. It was like a matter of minutes because they only made so many, so I can't link that down below for you. I'm sorry. But I'm very excited for that. They have, it's like a very kind of a thick brush, but it comes to a very pointy tip. I'll be doing a review on them as soon as I get them and get to play with them a little bit. I'll do an unboxing and then I'll play with them a little bit. I don't do enough watercolor to actually do a review about, like a professional review of how good brushes are, but I can give you my opinion and show you them in some sort of action. But her set comes with, if I recall correctly, I know it comes, it's like a 3/4 inch mop brush. So she uses that a lot to wet like a big area. So she said these are the 4 brushes that she could use and never need any other brushes again, basically. That's why she created it. So there's a 3/4 inch mop brush and then a 12, and then I believe a 6 and a 2. I know the small is a 2 round, and I believe it's a 6. It could be an 8, but I'm pretty sure it's a 6. And then a 12, which is bigger, round. And then the mop brush, which is like a wide, flat kind of brush. So yeah, I'm very excited to get those, and I will be using them a lot, hopefully. I'll be focusing more on watercolor in 2022, since I will also be trying not to buy any art supplies or craft supplies or stamps or anything in 2022. We will see how long I will last. I'm going to be trying to do videos on how to kind of use what you have, and hopefully those are helpful. Maybe some more watercolor videos. I had a paint incident. Sometimes I end up with paint on my hands or on the table and I have no idea how it got there, and then I have to clean myself up. So yeah, hopefully you have something planned for Halloween. This is day 30 out of 31. So I have tomorrow, which is Halloween, for my last video for a video day in October. Hopefully you have enjoyed following along, and it was really fun, and it got me to use a lot of my Halloween stamps. I still didn't touch some of them, but that's okay. We have some fall cards to make, and then we're going to get into Christmas. I'll be doing a lot of Christmas card videos. And then I also have a Christmas card camp, I think that's what I called it, on November 6th at 3 p.m. Pacific is going to be a Zoom call. If you'd like to join, comment down below and let me know. It's nothing other than us getting together and making the Christmas cards that we need to make. So it's really just hanging out, maybe giving people ideas. But if you just need a chunk of time for a couple hours or so to just get them made, and you want to hang out with other people online on a Zoom call, and you can show us you, or you can show us the cards you're making, or both, let me know down below. We would love to have you. And this is just a lot of tiny watercoloring, so I'm just trying to think of things I can talk about other than telling you what I'm doing on the screen. This is also a reminder that most of December is still fall, and most of September was still summer. So think about that. I know that holidays kind of take over, but fall does go until through December 20th, and then winter starts. So we can still make fall cards as long as we want, although Thanksgiving will take over. I might have some Thanksgiving cards in there. I'm not sure how many Thanksgiving sets I have. I think I've got at least 2, maybe 3. There's a really cute turkey set from Papery Ink, I believe, that I'll be using. I'm going to hopefully have a fall cards video to give you a chunk of ideas in one video, and then many, many Christmas card ideas. And I ordered super cute stamps for Christmas cards from Possum Stamps. I will link their website down below if you want to take a look. They have super cute Christmas cupcakes that kind of pair with their spooky cupcakes for Halloween. And so those are coming. And then I ordered the super cute like bear reindeer guy. But I will link Possum Stamps down below. You should check them out. So I just made this black card panel a little bit bigger than this Cat Scrappiness scalloped slimline panel. I just kind of eyeballed it just because I wanted the black to peek out. And so I centered this panel onto the black panel. No specific measurements whatsoever, just slightly bigger on all sides so you can see it stand out. And then this Lawn Fawn slimline die happens to fit well enough inside. So I wanted a white background for my sentiment and all of these little guys. And so that one worked out pretty well. Over time, I've purchased enough slimline die sets that I can kind of mix and match them size-wise. So that has worked out for me pretty well. I've done something like this before. So I'm just kind of placing where I want everyone to go. The Bat Dracula head doesn't quite look right on the girl. I want the pink to pop with the pink, and it just looked better with the pink on her head and on her outfit. I also had to color her top in with a marker because when I put the Post-it on her and ran her through my die cut machine, it lifted up some of the color I had put down, like ripped up the paper. I think it was too sticky. And so I colored her top in with a marker to fix it. And so I'm just going to put I'm going to call it like a Bat Dracula. It just works with our little Dracula kid, and he deserves a hat as well. So because I didn't want to grab my bigger Misty or my other platform, I am just going to set it in here like this. It doesn't hurt it enough to like bend the paper, so that worked out just fine as long as you hold it down in the same spot. And then I'm going to run my tape runner along the back and center this onto the orange slimline section there. So I knew that the Happy Halloween needed to be centered and as close to the top of the white as I could make it for all of these guys and their pumpkins to fit. And then I am just opening up my art glitter glue that hopefully is behaving for me. On some of these I probably put too much glue down. So I stuck the star wand down to our little bat princess before I stuck her down. And basically, for lining them up, I'm just making sure their little feet are a tiny bit over the dotted edge on the Lawn Fawn die, the white panel. And then that way they look fairly even. So as long as I make sure his little feet are over the line on the bottom a little bit, and then that way he's not totally covering up our sentiment either, but his hat is going to go over her hat ribbons. I'm going to do the pumpkins last. So I'm going to put the witch because she has the broom on the side where her hand is sticking out. I'm going to put her and her broom on the right so that I don't take up too much space for the Frankenstein monster, so she can go off the edge that way. And then we'll put her hat on her. And then he's not taking up too much space. He's not very wide. He's actually pretty skinny. So I'm just going to put him there, and then our pumpkins should fit just fine. And I should reach and get my glossy accents out so that I have it. But I think I'll add after the fact the glossy accents to the yellow faces on the pumpkin, because it always looks much cooler on pumpkins when the face is shiny. It kind of makes it look like it's glowing more. And then I'm just adding some white accents with a gel pen. When you're adding white accents, you want to, at least on things that you've watercolored, don't spend too long on them because it'll start to reactivate the color. Because the not the glossy accents, but the Jelly Roll pen is wet, and if you spend too much time on one line, it'll start to lift that color, and then it might start to mix with the white, and then it's not going to look white anymore. So like on the orange, if I had spent too long on a line, it might have started to just turn orange, and then you wouldn't notice the white anymore. So there's that. And just some finishing touches on the white accents. This was kind of a long one. The watercolor took me quite a while. So thank you for watching. in sticking around. And I'm going to add some cheeks with an alcohol marker, my Tri-Blend, and just leave them at that. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the last video of October. Bye.